You're listening to InfoQuench with Jeff.
And Amy, a podcast on how to be more efficient.
And effective in everyday life.
Hey, wake up. We gotta record.
I'm
Jeff,
tired.
Jeff, didn't you get a good night's sleep last night?
I did not sleep well last night at all.
Well, wake up.
Well, I mean, I can't, how do you fall asleep so quickly every night? I can't do it.
Well,
how do you do it?
I'll teach you my ways.
You have ways?
I have ways. There are some tricks.
I want to go back to sleep now. Why don't you just talk about one of your, ways you...
All right. Do the intro already.
Hey, everybody. You're listening to InfoQuench. And I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Amy.
And you know what? I haven't said this in a long time, but we're also heard on Local 107.3 FM.
That's right. Every Wednesday.
I just wanted to say that,
Every Wednesday from 1 to 1:30.
And what a fantastic radio station that just has so much love for the community and the students at the University of St. John campus. My love goes out to you.
Yes. So if you're in St. John listening locally, be sure to check us out on 107.3 on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. This episode.
Yes,
if you didn't catch it, if you didn't pick up what we were laying down on the intro, it's all about good tips for good night's sleep.
I don't know if you guys
13 tips to be exact.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're trying to step up our intro game.
We are.
Yeah. Hopefully it's ringing true,
We're trying to be creative.
We're trying to be too legit to quit, really, is what we're doing.
Too legit. So I like it when I have these numbered lists because it keeps me on track.
Okay, first of all, let's just talk about let's
when you try to do everything but
listen though, we should just talk about the many different reasons why people don't get a good night's sleep.
That kind of leads into the list.
Oh, it does?
Because a lot of the tips are to combat or stop doing the things that lead to not having a good night's sleep.
I should really start reading your notes before we start the podcast.
Okay,
I like being surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a list one, guys, and gals.
I like being surprised.
Yeah.
That's a great excuse for not reading the show notes.
Well, you never show them to me.
That would be another good reason.
Yeah. How am I going to read the money if I can't see them?
The ideal amount of time that an adult should have, and it changes throughout our lifetime how much sleep we need. Obviously, kids need more. They're growing. But the average adult needs somewhere in the range of 7 to 9 hours. Mm-hmm. Now, I know there's some people out there who say they can completely function off as little as like 4 or 5 hours. Those people are superhuman. But really, to be at top mental capacity, to be able to think clearly and be in good spirits, 7 to 9 hours is the average for most people.
You can adapt though, because I don't get that much sleep, but not at one chunk. My sleeps are broken up into chunks because I work, shift work.
Right.
But it's true. You can. I think it depends on the person, to be honest. Like you can function really well on. Some people can, anyways, on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep because they're just so used to it, right?
Oh yeah, there's definitely some people who can do that, and I know you have to do break it up, and sometimes you have to have naps outside of your regular sleep time to sort of catch up to, and so it goes. But anyways, 7 to 9 hours on average.
That's right.
How do we get there? So number one is and I want to just give a little bit of credit here to healthline.com. They have a lot of great articles that are evidence-based, so they'll reference a lot of research studies, and there's usually multiple studies for each of their...
No fake news.
No. Well, and I mean, sometimes you'll read articles and they'll have tips and they don't really have any much to back it up. So this one seemed pretty legit, too legit.
To quit. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
We've got
I tried to tie it in for you.
Thanks, man.
Number one
awesome.
is to increase your exposure to bright light during the daytime.
Yes.
So, as you're probably aware, our body has sort of a natural circadian rhythm. It's like the clock that tells us when we should be awake and when we should be asleep. And a lot of that has to do with our exposure to light.
Right.
So if you're exposing yourself to bright daylight, it helps you wake up. A lot of people will even go to sleep and they'll have their curtains left open so that when the morning sun rises, it'll help wake them up gradually.
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are. Most people awake to
Who
alarms.
are these people? Yeah. You know what? Just as a completely side note, like a quick side note, I always, without fail, wake up before my alarm goes off. Always. Like it's just a thing. I don't even have to set it, but I do just in case, but I never do.
Well, and they say, if you're getting the right amount of sleep and you're doing it
Regularly?
Yeah, regularly. That's the word
Habitually?
I'm going for. Habitually, then a lot of people do wake up before their alarm goes off if you're sort of in that same cycle. So natural light it's really important for just overall daytime energy and mood. I know anybody who has felt, the winter blues and will relate to that. And getting that increased light and energy during the day just improves the sleep quality at night. Some people even invest in like artificial
light
sunlight,
lamps, yeah.
light lamps and that sort of thing. People who, if they have seasonal affective disorder.
I was trying to think of the name of that, yeah.
So that's number one. Make sure you get that daylight during the day.
Definitely.
So you can, sleep better at night.
A really great way to do that, too, like you said, is opening up your curtains if you wanted to wake up to light, right? I mean, you just wake up a little quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Assuming that the time you need to wake up also corresponds with sunrise.
That's right.
Which doesn't always the case.
No.
Number two is to reduce, your daytime naps, particularly if they're irregular. So if people are used to always taking a nap in the afternoon, their body can become accustomed to it.
Yeah.
So if you're accustomed to that and it's working well for you, then so be it. But if you're having trouble sleeping at night, you may be napping too much during the day. And the key time, they say anything over 30 minutes is probably going to affect your nighttime sleep.
Oh, man.
Those short little power naps under 30 minutes may actually help, your daytime brain function. But anything longer than that might give you a little bit too much rest. And then when nighttime comes around, you might have a little bit of a hard time falling asleep. I don't know if you've ever had one of those naps when you wake up, like a daytime nap, you wake up and it's like you don't even know what day it is.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're at.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Well, I find with me, no matter how long the duration of my nap is in the day, it'll screw up my sleep that evening, pretty much without fail, even if it's like a 20-minute nap.
But I love naps. They're so awesome.
Me too. They're great. When you just sink in and just all nice and warm and cozy and you're out.
We're always trying to get kids to nap and to eat. And I think... How glorious would that be if someone said, Amy, just go to sleep.
Yeah,
just
siesta.
Go to sleep and close your eyes and rest. Just do that.
Siestas,
do that thing. I would be all over it.
We could bring those to Canada.
Number 3 is also around light, but it's reducing your blue light exposure in the evening.
Oh, like...
and this is something I'm so guilty of.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like a blue light is given off by lots of different things. There's even some blue light and, in lamps and that sort of thing. But the main culprit, I think, nowadays are people looking at their mobile devices.
Yeah.
I mean, televisions have it and our phones, iPads. The bigger the device, the more the blue light. So if you're working on something and late at night, like you'll absorb less blue light if it's on your phone versus an iPad.
But you could also put it in night mode.
Yeah, so there's some different things that you can do. There are some devices you can download apps that will block out all blue light.
Wow.
There's special glasses that you can wear if you want to wear if you want to wear your sunglasses at night. That will block out blue light. Minimizing your screen time, they say 2 hours before you're heading to bed. That's when you should sort of be
No one
doing
does that.
I know, nobody does it. We're all laying in bed with our phones.
Even the people who wrote that study do that.
It says stop watching TV and turn off any bright lights 2 hours before heading to bed. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I just head to bed then?
Jeez.
What the heck am I going to do?
I know. Exactly. What am I going to do? Stay
screen?
awake all night?
Without my blue lights. I had to look up, Kindle because as part of our, minimalist lifestyle, as I look around the clutter around our house, I realize we need to declutter so that I don't feel like a hypocrite when I say we like to live like minimalists.
We pretty much got 1,000 pens in that thing in front of us.
I know.
A lot of them are my drawing pens, though.
But we got rid of a lot of books, and I tend to buy electronic books because they don't take up space in the house. But because of that, they're on my iPad, and I'm reading them, and there's blue light.
That's right.
So
Definitely.
Jeff just slid on a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah. They were in our clutter pile.
They were in arm's reach.
They were in our clutter pile. Man.
How convenient that was. So I think the original Kindle, when you bought the Kindle device, actually didn't have that blue light. It read more like a book. But now when you have the devices, the apps, the Kindle apps that we're watching on our iPads or phones, they do have the blue light. So that's kind of hard. That's a tricky thing. I know that when I read a regular book, I definitely feel more sleepy at night than if I'm reading an electronic book.
Oh, me too.
And I have low brightness on my devices anyway, mostly because I like to not have to charge them as often.
Yeah. There he is.
There he goes again.
Hi, Charlie.
So yes, blue light is a big thing, and it's something I've been wanting to improve my sleep, and this is something that I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try this.
You're saying you're going to do this right now on the air.
I am.
I'm going to have to hold you to it then.
I am. The exception will be
weekends.
Yeah.
And when I feel like it.
I'm just thinking about how I like to do a lot of research for the podcast late at night, and I do a lot of reading late at night.
Yeah, you do.
So I got to find just like how maybe I need to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy sunglasses.
I think
I'm
researching.
going to buy these blue blocking sunglasses.
Yeah, blue blockers. I love that. The commercial. There's another, like in the previous podcast, we talked about things that, remind us of our childhood. I remember that. Not my childhood. Might have been a teenager when that commercial was on for blue blockers. You remember that? Do you remember that commercial?
I do. Oh, I remember. I wonder if the ones you have on actually block blue light.
I don't know. They're pretty cheapies. Yeah, doubt it. I'll just take them off then.
All right. We spent a little extra time on that one because I did find it fascinating, and I think that's probably affecting a lot of people. It's the amount of blue light we expose ourselves to. So I'm going to try out some glasses.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an easy thing.
Blue blockers?
I don't have to give up my phone. Or my iPad. I can just.
Blue blockers?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll find them. I'll find some on Amazon and see.
As seen on TV.
As seen on TV. Number 4, try to be consistent with your sleep and wake times. So this is hard for a lot of people because they want to sleep in on the weekend. And it's hard, if you're not getting enough sleep during the week, you build up what's called a sleep deficit. So say you're somebody who really needs to have 7 hours of sleep a night, but you're getting, 6 throughout the week. Well, by Friday, you've got a 5-hour sleep deficit.
Yeah.
And this definitely happens to me. I don't get enough sleep during the week, and I end up trying to make up for it on the weekend.
That happens too, yeah.
So then that's hard because it throws off your whole consistency. And
I find with you though, you just need like a really nice long, like almost a day of sleep, and then that just resets everything.
Unfortunately, life does not always give us a full day of sleep.
That does happen. It happened yesterday.
It would be glorious.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a very relaxing. Yes.
You if you were awake, you wanted to be asleep yesterday.
Yes. It happens. I think my body was fighting something.
Oh, yeah.
That's my reason. Don't judge me, people. No. I was resting my eyes. Mm-hmm. What is it that we never want to admit that we're actually napping? We just say we're resting our eyes. It's like it's a weakness. Eyes. It's a weakness to say that we've given in.
But resting your eyes, that is equal to sleep. That's what you do when you sleep, is rest your eyes.
So
it's like why don't you stop talking? Oh, it's just my mouth moving. I'm just like exercising my mouth. Well, that's what you do when you talk. Anyway,
so that whole sleep with and waking up at consistent times, if you do that, you probably eventually wouldn't need an alarm. The key is to be getting enough sleep during the week, so that you can kind of keep that on the weekend. You're not trying to make up that deficit.
Yeah.
Number 5 is don't eat too late at night.
That's something I got away from.
So they say, you don't want to go to bed with super hungry, but having a light snack, 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, not having anything super heavy or spicy or anything that'll give you heartburn.
Crackers and sriracha.
Yeah, that sounds great. What a lovely, lovely bedtime snack. Number 6, don't drink any liquids before bed. So you want to stay hydrated, but don't overdo the fluids right before you go to bed because you may find you're waking up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom, which happens more as we get older sometimes.
I guess so, yeah.
So the recommendation is to not drink fluids 1 to 2 hours before bed. I do tend to drink water right up till I go to sleep.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean, if your body can handle it and you don't find that it's waking you up, then keep up what you're doing. But if you find you're waking up in the middle of the night to go to sleep, or so waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, then you might want to cut out the liquids a couple hours before you go to bed. Number 7 along the long lines is don't drink alcohol.
Come on, next.
Yeah, right. Number 7.
Number 7's always the worst.
But really, though, downing a couple drinks a night, is said it can negatively affect your sleep and the hormones that affect your sleep. So it can also increase problems like snoring or sleep apnea if you have other issues going on. It alters your nighttime melatonin, which I'll talk a little bit about later.
What about all these like studies where they say, oh yeah, like a glass of wine every single night is good for you?
Well, they'll say when they're talking about red wine and they're talking about like how that's good for the heart, and that's a little different, I guess, than having a few drinks at night of like vodka or tequila before you hit.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I usually find I sleep like a baby when I have a few drinks. Number 8, don't consume caffeine late in the day. I've had this talk with people, and some people say it doesn't bother them. For me, I usually will have a coffee in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I don't consume caffeine unless it's in the form of chocolate.
Yes.
I might have a piece of dark chocolate, but even like if I'm having tea in the evening, I'll usually go with a decaffeinated herbal tea.
I don't drink any caffeine whatsoever that I control.
So it can stay rather elevated in your bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours, where it might affect your sleep. So depending on what time you normally go to bed, it might be like 3 or 4 p.m. might be your cutoff. But you kind of work it out. But if you're feeling like you're laying in bed and just having trouble falling asleep, it could be that you had a little bit too much caffeine. So think about it. Could be hidden in coffee. And it says energy drinks. Well, duh. But I mean, don't drink a Monster energy drink.
I'm really tired. Give me that Red Bull. I just wanted to say quickly that my method of forgetting to sleep that really works for me. I don't forget where I read it, but I read it someplace online a while back. And so there you are. You're trying to sleep, right? But your mind's just going like crazy and stuff. So here's what you do. You breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you count to 1. And then you breathe in, and you count to 2. Breathe in, exhale, count to 3. And then you see how... But if you forget...
So you're only counting on the exhales?
You're only counting on the exhales.
I'm detecting?
Yeah, you're only counting on the exhales. And if you forget where you're at in the number, so your mind starts to wander, you start thinking about something else, and you're not paying attention to what number you're on, you have to go directly back to 1.
Well, it's very meditative then.
It's very meditative, and I've rarely gotten any higher than like 40 or 50 kind of thing.
Is it that you forget what number you're on, or you just, if some other thought creeps into your mind, that's when you do reset?
Yes. So
if you're like, I got to buy milk, then you've got to reset to number 1?
No.
Even if you remember that your next number is 13?
You have to forget what number you're on in order to get reset. You have to forget.
Are you forgetting what number you're on that often?
Oh, yeah. Like when you're like mine, you're just thinking about stuff. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. You try it.
All right.
You try it when you can't sleep, and it'll work.
Okay.
Anyway, try that.
Maybe
people.
That's the one tip everybody needed.
It works every single time for me. So
I should mention that we talked about quantity of sleep in terms of 7 to 9 hours is the average of what adults need, but quality of sleep is also important. So a lot of these items we're mentioning affect not just your ability to fall asleep, but also your ability to stay asleep and to have a good overall sleep.
Melatonin.
There's stages of sleep and REM and all that, but I don't have time to get into all that. I didn't research all that, so we're sticking with the other stuff. Yep. Exercise
sounds good. Oh yes, exercise.
You should do it, but you shouldn't do it right before bed. Again, unless if you're somebody that works for them, maybe it's yoga. There's an exception. Having sexual relations is considered great exercise just before falling asleep because it stimulates your endorphin hormone production. Well, and it helps promote relaxation. So that type of exercise, I guess, is okay. But other types of exercise, you're supposed to time it to happen like at least 2 to 3 hours before you're ready to go to sleep because your metabolism stays up a bit. Your heart rate is increased for a while, even after exercise is finished. So... Interesting. Yeah, but having regular physical activity is important for a good night's rest. I know there's no time that I sleep any better than if I've been outside all day doing physical work. Yeah. So it must be like the combination of the the exposure to the bright light, fresh air, and then also just being physically exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep super well.
You do that one day a year gardening and you're bushed at the end and you just can't wait to get to sleep. And if you can't, you use my method, and then you're done.
Number 10, optimize your bedroom environment. Make sure that you don't have a spouse sleeping in the same bed with you.
Oh, yeah.
You should kick them out of the room.
Kick them out.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
purely for your benefit.
Yeah. Okay.
For all the jabs you're throwing my way.
Okay. I am in
I
the
garden more than
doghouse.
once a year. I do.
Oh, I was
even if
talking
I'm
about
out-
me.
Oh, okay. So even if we're out shoveling snow, that gives us physical
You
activity.
thought that was about you? No,
Yeah.
no. It was about me. I garden once a year with you.
When have I ever even...
I pass
debate
you the
whether there's-
tools. When you say, like, where's the rake? I'm like, here it is. I get it for you.
You struggled to come up with the tool name.
Rake, the hoe, whatever.
Careful.
Yeah, careful there. Don't you be calling me a hoe.
So number 10, optimize your bedroom environment. No, it doesn't mean getting rid of your spouse.
Oh, I know. I hope not.
No, but there's a lot of different things that make a good bedroom environment for sleeping. One of them that's very key, and some people say this is even more key than amount of noise, is the temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So if your room is too hot and you find yourself sweating, or it's too cold, then it's going to really impact your sleep. The optimal temperature is around 20 degrees Celsius for most people, which is about 70 Fahrenheit.
I run pretty hot. I need to have a leg out or a window open every night.
It's always like the sacrificial leg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we all want to have blankets over us because it's like this comforting thing. But sometimes when we're too hot, we're like, okay, if I just stick out one body part, it'll bring my body temperature down.
And it works. It does work.
It does.
And having like a nice cool pillow helps as well for me.
Well, and having the
Flipping it.
having the window open, like you mentioned, is awesome. There's nothing like being in a cool room
Sunday
under
morning.
warm blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sunday morning's the best for
And
that.
an electric blanket is also very nice.
Which we haven't put on our bed yet, but we're going to.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I can't believe it's October. So yes, temperature is key. Noise, of course, is important. We have a lot of urban noise, traffic and that sort of thing. But you tune it out. You get
Tune
used
it
to
out
it. I
big
think a lot of
time.
people live in big cities and
We're
you tune
ridiculously
that out.
used to it.
Just having, a nice dark room, particularly if you're doing shift work and you need to have blackout curtains.
Oh, that was
or
one of the
something.
best purchases we ever made. I don't
Yes.
forget when that was, but
The hotels are really good at that. They always have the blackout curtains. They understand. They know what's up.
they know what's up.
But then they make you check out too early
They do.
after you're sleeping so well.
Sometimes they let you stay late though too,
Yeah, sometimes.
which is nice.
Yeah, and not one of the other things around bedtime and a bedroom environment is not to do things in your bedroom that are not conducive to sleep. So if you're doing things like bringing your laptop into your bed and doing work, or doing your homework in bed or in your bedroom, and you start to associate your bedroom with other activities that may be stressful or take a lot of brain power, it can be difficult to relax in that environment. So try to keep, bedroom. They say use your bed for sleep and intimate moments.
Intimate moments. Let's go.
I know.
It's true. And
Great
you know
wording.
what? I think one of the things too is the feng shui of your room helps with your sleep. If it's super cluttered and stuff, I don't know. Maybe it's just our minds or a certain kind of mind.
I think.
But
I think it's
some
just a
people
matter.
are okay with clutter, like a lot of clutter.
It's whatever makes you comfortable,
Right.
And in your room, whatever you need to build your little cocoon
Yeah,
of
that's true.
happiness. Number 11, have a routine. Have a bedtime routine with, and practice it each night. Some people like to listen to soothing music. They might want to take a hot bath or a hot shower, doing that, even an hour to an hour and a half before sleep can help improve sleep quality. It's been proven to show that people have actually more of a deep sleep when they do that.
If you're one of those people who need music to fall asleep to, there's no better album than Brian Eno's Music for Airports.
That's
Definitely
right.
check it out.
Yeah, you often play that.
Yeah, and it works.
Music for Airports.
By Brian Eno.
I've actually tried sleep meditations before too. You can find them on YouTube.
They work?
Yes, they do. But the thing is that you kind of do them, and then at the end of them, you kind of wake up for a second. So, I don't know.
Oh, that's
And they're usually quite lengthy.
defeats the purpose.
And then I also wonder if, like, in the middle of it, they're subliminally trying to tell you to buy a bunch of their stuff.
Oh, probably.
So make sure you research
Zuckerberg's got
what you're
his
listening to before you
mitts in there.
give them access to your mind while
Yeah.
you're sleeping. Number 12, be comfortable. Get comfortable. Have a good mattress. Have a good pillow. Have good bedding and sheets.
What's that thing we have on our bed that makes it so comfy?
Oh, it's like a memory
memory
foam.
Memory foam.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like sleeping on a pillow, people.
Yes, it's really good. Yeah, we get that one from Costco.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps it cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. And yeah, it's really, really nice.
Flannel sheets, too. Let's give a shout out to them. I don't know if we did already, but flannel sheets.
We didn't, but flannel sheets are already on the bed for the season, and they are comfy.
Yeah.
This website said you should be upgrading your bedding every 5 to 8 years. I don't know.
Whatever.
Whatevs. I don't like. They're
Once a
actually saying
lifetime.
like they're saying like mattress. The same mattress I slept on as a kid. I took to university. So
Yeah.
there's that.
And then wasn't Hux using that for a while before he got a new bed?
No, I know he got a new one.
All right.
Yeah, he spoiled that. Oh, that siren stopped just outside our house.
What a jam-packed evening. Crazy cat.
Hopefully we're not getting
Sirens.
He's gonna be knocking at the door. All right. Oh, and there's okay. Oh,
Yeah.
all's well. All's well
All's
in
well.
St. John, New Brunswick. So yes, the mattress and bedding every 5 to 8 years. That seems a bit excessive.
It is.
Bedding I can see. I mean, it's okay. New sheets are great, but the big thing is to have the right firmness for you. You don't want something that you're shifting and trying to get comfortable.
Exactly.
And, pay attention to your own sleep position and what makes you comfortable. You want your head to be in natural alignment with your spine and, you want to be comfortable. If you're waking up achy and everything, it might be time to evaluate your overall sleep setup.
This is true.
Number 13, and this one I'm going to start with, as with any supplements, you got to check with your doctor first because there can be, even if they're natural, I'm doing air quotes on that one, they can still have interactions with medications or other health implications. So make sure you check with your doctor. But melatonin is a supplement that is commonly used.
Yeah.
I know you take.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great for both getting me to sleep as well as keeping me in sleep when I am there.
Right. So it's a natural sleep hormone that we already have in our body, and it kind of what tells our brain it's time to relax and it's time to go to bed. So a lot of people do supplement with melatonin. And if that's something that you would like to try, check with your doctor to see if that's something that's right for you. People even use it to help adjust to new time zones and things when they're traveling. Other things, like even the scent of lavender, you don't ingest it, but just having the scent of, lavender oil through an infuser or something like that may be something that'll help lull you to sleep. And if all else fails, don't rule out that you might have an underlying sleep disorder. There could be, you could have sleep apnea, which is when you actually physically stop breathing during sleep.
CPAP machine.
Then you end up waking up, and you may not even realize that you're waking up during the night multiple times, but it can severely affect the quality of your sleep so that you end up quite tired throughout the day. So there are a lot of people who have that and just aren't even aware. So if you are having trouble sleeping, sleep quality is so important to your overall quality of life. Do some steps to try to get it under control, and talk to your family doctor and, ask them for assistance because, like I said, it's important.
It is very important. Sleep is important. You know what? Just have a nap now. Why not? No matter where you're at. Just pull over. If you're in your car, pull over, have a nap.
Yes, pull over first. If you're operating heavy equipment, if you're at your job, wait until your shift is over because I don't want you to get fired.
Yeah, I know. Don't get fired. Thanks for listening, everybody. It really means a lot to us. Let us know what you do to get to sleep. You can find us anywhere on social media. We have our own website even. yeah, let us know.
InfoQuench.com.
InfoQuench.com. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.
Be sure to visit InfoQuench.com to subscribe and catch up on past episodes.
You can also check out InfoQuench on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Till next time.